Hey, what's up everyone? Kevin here, Dark Spidey. Okay, so this is a very large statue that I've been working on and that I wanted to show you. It's Cable versus Sentinel Diorama 6 scale. And this is by far the largest 6 scale piece that I've ever seen. And the most time consuming project that I've ever worked on. It's absolutely massive. It's actually much bigger than a lot of quarter scale statues, and it's one of those pieces that you have to see in person to fully appreciate its size. It's really big. So Cable himself is one of the tallest, largest human characters in the Marvel universe, right? He's very tall. So just Cable himself here, 6 scale, is actually larger than most Bowens or Kudabukiyas you may own. But once you add this sucker right here, it gets huge. So we all know that Sentinels come in all shapes and sizes, right? But I really like the large ones, the super tall ones. And in this case, it is true to scale with Cable. And it's a sick sculpt. This thing was sculpted by Avi AY, and he did an amazing job. And that Sentinel is just plain sick. And it is massive. It's about, I don't know, like 4 times as big as a Kodo Sentinel head. It's I wish I could do some comparisons, but all my statues are boxed up right now, but I will take some pictures. I will take some pictures later. So for the paint up, this thing wasn't easy. It was extremely time consuming because, as you can see, there's so much going on. So much going on with this character, like all the pouches, every lots and lots of small details that you have to paint, and definitely not easy. I love what Avi did with the face. Looks great. It's based on Mark Silvestri's art, and he really nailed that likeness. I'm not sure if the camera is picking up all the subtle weathering bits that I did on the chest plate. It's got some streaking effects actually, but it's subtle, but it's there. The worst thing about Cable is that he never has a consistent color scheme. He changes colors, the jumpsuit is never the same. And in this case, I wanted a blue that is closer to what the X-Men might wear. So Cyclops, Wolverine. So I wanted that kind of blue to be reminiscent of the X-Men blue, I guess. And for the rest, it's pretty much classic Cable. So a lot of leather. There's a lighter, more yellow leather, and then there's the darker. Lighter brown, almost. It's got some yellow ink in it, and then the darker red-brown for the boots and other parts of the outfit. Okay, so let's chat about Cable. This thing was beautifully engineered by the printing company. He came in a lot of parts, and that definitely made my life a lot easier, because at the end of the day, there was little masking to do on this guy. So all the pouches come off, the arms, of course, the gloves, the thighs, skin parts, portrait and arm. The weapons are attached, so there was some masking to do with that. And unfortunately, the chest piece here is sealed onto the body. But again, little masking involved, so it was a very pleasant piece to work on. What I did first is I worked on the skin parts. I wanted to paint the portrait first to make sure that it looked good, because in my opinion a portrait head sculpt makes or breaks a statue, and in this case Avi did a beautiful job with that portrait. One of my favorites from this guy, from this sculptor. Great work, and I wanted to do it justice first, so painted that first, painted the arm as well. It's got some very detailed skin tones. And then moved on to the jumpsuit, then the leather, the light brown leather pouches, and then all the rest. It was, I think it took about 3 weeks to complete the character. 3 full weeks. So a lot of time. Okay, so now for the weapons and accessories, etc. I didn't have any reference to work with, so kind of improvised and just pictured, I don't know, I thought they had to look like futuristic yet realistic guns. So for the rifle right here, I went with a sort of a Gears of War type of look, I guess, the Lenser, and made it this rough metal type of look for the rifle, and painted a light effect called OSL. Kind of the same thing as I did for Magneto for his eyes, just to simulate light coming from that part of the rifle. Thought it would look cool. For the hand cannon, it's pretty much a stainless steel type of look. And for all the handguns, they're just more classic black steel, black metal, iron, whatever you want to call it. And same for the shotgun. It was actually very challenging to not have any reference to work with. I really wasn't sure about the holsters, the collar, so I went with a army green, khaki type of collar. Really wasn't easy to choose colors for this guy. Same for the headset. Decided to do some black metal, chrome, and gold. And it'll look cool. Okay, so now let's talk about this bad boy right here. The Sentinel. And again, this is not a cable statue, it's a diorama. And if you look at it, the Sentinel is actually bigger. So it's a character in itself, and it's definitely a huge part of this concept. It only works with the Sentinel right here, so I had to give it a lot of attention, and definitely took some time and effort. So for the skin part, I guess you would call a human part of the human face of the Sentinel, what I did was I started by painting the underneath metal part that you can see right here, the chipped parts actually. So I started with that. Started by painting this black metal highlighted in a steel, lighter steel color. And then I used some liquid masking with a sponge that I dabbed. And what you do is after that you paint the skin color. And once you remove the liquid masking, you have this very cool, natural and realistic chipping effect. And of course, I went very heavy with the liquid masking because I wanted it to look super damaged, super messed up. And of course, if you look at Cable, I wanted a contrast between a very clean looking character to show how powerful he is, and he's armed to the teeth, man. He's dangerous, and he just messed up that Sentinel real bad. And it's got its mouth open like, you know, it doesn't even know what hit it. So the eyes, the final pieces will have a light up for the eyes. This is a prototype, didn't come with a light up, but I wanted to add something cool for the mouth, so I painted again, same as the rifle, an OSL for the mouthpiece, for the mouth part, and to simulate a light up feature. This isn't UV paint, it's just regular paint, but when you simulate that light effect, it looks as though you have a permanent light up feature. For the metallic purple, it was pretty much the same recipe. Painted the dark steel color underneath first, liquid masking, and then on top of that this pearlescent purple. Now I know sometimes Sentinels are much lighter color, almost magenta, but I really wanted this one to be purple because I like it better. It looks, I don't know, a little more menacing, I guess, because that magenta is just too light, too flashy. And I also spent a good amount of time working on the inside of the mouth. Painted that gold part, some copper in there as well, and just a lot of weathering. Takes time. Working with metallics takes a lot of time. It has to be very subtle. And for the ground part, I tried something that I've been wanting to try for quite some time. I used texture paint. So this isn't the original sculpt. Actually, it's a slightly more textured ground earth look. So what I did is I used a Citadel paint called Stirland Mud, I believe it was, and it's a dark brown. It's a dark mud color, and it's textured, so it looks almost like sand when you paint it from the bottle. And I painted everything in that, and then dry brushed it with a lighter brown to get that nice mud earth color. And I also did some spattering with the airbrush. Basically, I took that paint, texture paint, on a brush, and then shot some air through the airbrush, very high pressure, to get that nice spattering effect. You can see some more right here. Kind of hard not to go overboard with that type of effect, but in this case I think it looks natural. Maybe I could have added some more, but I didn't want to hide the paint job that I did on the Sentinel. It took so much time, so I thought let's just stick with that part right here, make it all muddy, but the rest of the Sentinel, let's keep it kind of clean, not too bad. And something cool that Avi did is he sculpted the circuit board, motherboard, I don't know, the Sentinel in there. It's a kind of detail that I hadn't seen at first. I saw it after a few days actually. I hadn't even noticed that he sculpted that. So I painted it gold and silver, did some brass, those parts right there hanging out of the Sentinel head. And there you have a very cool Sentinel base. Okay, so I couldn't resist showing you a comparison between that huge Sentinel and the Kodo Brown Wolverine base. So this is what you get from Kodo Brown Wolverine, Sentinel head, and this is a true to scale 1/6 Sentinel head. So as you can see, maybe now you can tell how massive this is. Of course, I'm using a stand right now for this one to make it a little higher for my lights, but here you go, about the same height. Yeah, there's a huge difference in size and weight. Forgot to mention that this bad boy right here, all in all, weighs a good 25 pounds, I believe, 11 kilos. All solid, not hollow. All solid. But the final piece, since it's gonna feature the light up, might have to be a little more hollow. But all of this solid polystone, base is polystone, cable is resin, all solid, super heavy. Okay, so that about wraps it up. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you like the result on cable. Very happy actually. It's one of those few pieces, after spending so much time, I can take a few steps back and be like, okay, this is cool. This is definitely something that I would like to own, that I would be happy to own. And yeah, very happy. But as I'm sure you know, as I'm sure you've realized, my video setup isn't the best, so I'm gonna have someone much more experienced and much better at it to do a video called Darth Chris DK on YouTube. He does some great unboxings, reviews, and he's gonna be reviewing this guy, and I'm pretty sure he's gonna do it justice, because yes, I don't have the best video setup ever, but I hope it's enough to show you, well, my paint job on this piece, and I hope you like it. So that's it, guys. I'll be back soon for more kits and repaints. Thank you for watching. Thanks for the support. Bye-bye now.